Smiling. Hi.
Well, hello, everyone.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you too. We are live here on the Facebook, as Brandon likes to say.
The Facebook and
The Facebook. Welcome everyone who is stopping by today to join us for our conversation. I'm ThatKimberly.
It's Deb.
And welcome to another Industry Live Tuesday, where we're sharing our point of views and our experiences in all things multifamily, business, startup, social media, marketing, a lot.
Yep.
20 years of experience.
20 years. 20 years on how many for you?
I'm going on since 2003, so
I'm going since 1999.
Okay, yeah. So together we're 20 years.
Yeah.
25 maybe. Where we're having some thoughtful conversations with guests in all industries, and because between their experiences and our experiences, we believe that sharing is caring, and sharing the advice that others gave us so that it would help you on your business journey.
Right. Just getting some new conversations, out there. We want to have, if you are an expert in your area or you just have something to share or enlighten folks with, we want to hear from you.
Yes.
And we are super excited about today. Today, do you want me to announce this?
Sure.
Today on our live, we are going to have a high-level discussion with Kathie Cook with opinions, do's and don'ts, what's new, and more in the review world, which is just a crazy
come a long way.
World. Yes, it's come a long ways from apartmentratings.com.
Yeah, the website we weren't supposed to say.
I hated that website. I hated it. But again, we are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever you're watching from. Hit subscribe, share. If you go back and watch us later, hashtag replay. The goal of these lives is to just bring as much value to our audience as possible.
Yeah. And if you have a comment, or you have you've resolved a resolution the same way, or if you have an opinion on what we're talking about, please leave it in the comments. We want to hear them. We want to see them. And if you have a question, make sure you leave in the comments and tag the person that you have that question for, so we can get that answered. So
absolutely.
Yeah. With that said, the drum roll, please. Miss Kathie Cook.
What? Ladies.
Well, hello.
See, it's still morning on the West Coast, so good morning.
Well, good morning to you.
To me here, because it's gloomy, so I have a hard time stirring when the sun is not out, which is why I can never live in Seattle.
Oh, well. We're getting to the good times. We're getting to the good parts where this rain kind of moves out and the sun comes out until like October.
Oh, nice. Okay, well, I'll come visit now and make sure I visit in the right time.
Yeah. Kathie, tell everyone about yourself. Give the audience a high level 60 to 90 seconds about who you are.
Well, I don't know that I can do it in 90. I don't know that I need 90 seconds.
Okay.
So, my name is Kathie Cook. I have been in multifamily for going on 20 years. That is really crazy to me. I remember my first job was with Apartment Finder. I was a publisher back in the day when there was no real internet, and
you had print magazines.
Right, when everything could be private. I love this industry. It's been really good to me. I am currently with a company called Opinion. No S, Deb.
Oh, my bad.
But two eyes. Two
eyes. Okay, great. Yes.
We say two eyes are better than one.
Yes.
And so we are a feedback company. So we do mostly resident feedback as opposed to just reputation. So we'll get into that a little later. But yeah, that's just a little bit about me. I live in Seattle, as you know.
Yeah. Well,
But you were, and just, you were born in a Texas girl. So
I am a
let's go
Texas
ahead and
girl.
announce that we're proud.
Yes, born and raised in Arlington, Texas. I've been in Seattle for 22 years.
wow.
And you've primarily been on, the technology side, I think, of multifamily for a long time.
Right. I've been in the SaaS world for a really long time.
Yeah.
So I kind of switched from.
What does SaaS stand for?
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. Oh gosh.
I don't even
Put you on the spot.
Software. It's software as a solution, right?
As a solution, yes, correct.
Okay.
Software as a solution.
Okay,
I always say software as a service because that's what it used to be, but now it's software as a service as opposed to software as a platform.
Yes. Awesome. Well, just for those non-techie people, we need to define some things, I feel, or get better at it, because Deb and I are going to have just a show on acronyms soon. John Ridgway, shout out, said that he'd be happy to be on, and it's going to be a combination of social media generational acronyms as well as multifamily acronyms.
Yes, we love our acronyms in multifamily.
Yes, we do. We have so many of them. It's fun.
So let's jump into this. Why are reviews important?
It is there's a lot of different answers to that. I mean, it allows for your customers, and if we're going to switch to residents, if you want to call them that, it allows your residents to give their feedback to the property, right? If we're going to be, if we're specifically talking about multifamily, it allows for potential residents to go in and get true feedback. I can tell you how great I am all day long, but when I go online and I'm seeing, not the good stuff, or, and you're going to get good stuff. I mean, people think that we're going to do 100%. If you're a 5-star and you've got 10,000 ratings, something's not right. Right?
If it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's probably a duck.
Yeah. But, in my opinion,
no pun intended.
Reviews are important for increasing your business. So if for us, it would be for potential residents to increase, have people, be able to see what your current residents are experiencing.
Yeah. And also for just as it relates to Google, I'm going to throw this in for any business, because we do, suppliers need to understand this as well. If you're not asking or getting reviews on the Google, then you're not going to show up on the Google map, correct?
That's not necessarily true.
Okay.
Here's the thing about reviews is reviews are very important in your SEO.
Good.
So Google looks at when somebody puts in apartments near me, and if you didn't know this, that is the number one search on Google is near me, whether it's apartments near me or restaurants near me or spas near me, dog washes, whatever it is. Near me is their number one search. So when somebody goes in organically and types in apartments near me, Google looks at your reviews, and it doesn't look at whether you have good reviews, bad reviews. It looks at, are you responding to all of your reviews? So
responding engagement, people.
That's right. So it's just kind of interesting that, even if you don't have any reviews, it's still going to, bring up your map. It's still going to bring up a list. And don't forget, if you've paid advertising or paid digital marketing, the people that are paying for it will come up first. And it'll say, you've seen it. It says ad next to it. And then you'll see the rest of the properties that are in that circumference or in that mileage area. And it shows their rating and their number of reviews.
Yeah, I don't think people realize that. But it is important to make sure that everything is getting replied to.
Yeah, and also, when I talk to clients and potential clients, and we talk about, their score, when you do that apartments near me, it brings up the map, it brings up the list of properties. They're looking at the scores. And if you are not, I think Google said that the chances of somebody going to your website, if you have an under a 3.3-star rating, it's dramatically, it's
Less,
dramatically goes down, right? But if I'm looking at like 4 properties, and I've got a 4.2 and I've got a 3.5 and I've got a 3.2 and then I've got a 2.9. That 2.9 is not even going to get, you spent all this money on your website, right? And that nobody's even going to click on it.
Right.
Yeah.
When was the last time you went to a restaurant?
I don't.
On Google or Yelp, it has a 2.9 star rating.
Skip it.
We don't.
We don't go there.
Right. And well, I mean, you think about it. Or when's the last time you stayed at a hotel that had a 2.9 star rating? If you won't do that, why would you live in a place that's rated 2.9 stars by their own residents?
Yeah.
So, and I think what also people don't realize is what's becoming more and more prevalent as per Google is the number of reviews that you have and when the last review you received. So, you could have a 4.5, but only have like 6 reviews, or you could have a 4.5 and have 100 reviews, but the last review you got was 6 months ago. You've become irrelevant. The reviews become irrelevant if it's 6 months since somebody's review.
So there needs to be like some consistent traffic on those reviews coming in as well.
Absolutely. It's about generation, right? It's about, getting consistent generation.
And being proactive for it.
Being proactive, absolutely.
Yeah. So this is a good, I think, follow-up to that. Is that because there's still ways to buy fake reviews? Is that like a Google, because you said like 6 months, you still become irrelevant because Google knows that they're not real reviews, or that has nothing to do with it?
That has nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Fake reviews are typically when a company pays people or they go, "Hey, Deb, I'm kind of low on reviews. Do you mind going and reviewing my property? Or do you mind going and reviewing my restaurant?" Or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
Those are reviews that are taken very, very seriously by Google. I was, for example, I was doing some research on a company that I went to. They had 10 properties. It was a small company. They had 10 properties. Excuse me. And I think it was 4 of the 10 all had reviews within the last 24 hours, 4 or 5 reviews in the last 24 hours, and they were all the same person. And so, that kind of thing will get you kicked off Google. Google will take your Google business profile off of the site.
Wow.
Yeah,
so what are
really careful.
So the top, what are the top 3 websites for reviews out there?
Google is number 1. And if you didn't know this, but 87% of all apartment searches start on Google.
Wow.
And then Facebook
Makes
and
sense.
Yelp.
And Yelp.
Which always surprised me because I always use Yelp for restaurants, as we were talking earlier, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I use Yelp for is restaurants, actually. So,
but apparently people do that. People go on Yelp and rate apartments as well.
Yeah. So they definitely came in hard. I remember when they came in hard to gain that business. It had something to do with the algorithm and review. There are plenty of other people that can explain that whole evolution of how it went from even apartment ratings when they were private and you couldn't even respond to your own reviews. They were the number 1, right? They always showed up first. And that over time, as the industry got more educated and us as business owners got more educated, definitely got better at, getting those reviews on Google, and then Facebook came into competition. All the ILSs, all the internet listing services, I will say, came in with their review, like get reviews on your actual listing and things of that sort. So that is crazy that Yelp is at least down to number 3, and apartment ratings isn't even up there, correct?
They come in like number 5. So it would go Google, Facebook, Yelp, apartments.com, and then rating and apartment ratings.
Okay. Well, it's definitely, we agree with this comment. Debbie, thank you. Reviews help prospective buyers decide whether they want to buy a product or not. It doesn't matter. So product being an apartment building or product being certain, whatever, like reviews are
on Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon's like the tried and true. Like, I have to look at all the reviews on Amazon.
Oh yeah.
So, and especially for me on Amazon, it's photos. Like, I love the reviews with photos.
Exactly. And so, it does allow those potential customers, your potential customers, to see whether or not they want to buy from you, whether they want to look at your website or go to your apartment and tour or whatever it is. So your reviews, I would use, are your first line of defense or offense. Clients. And especially as we have younger people coming into
the
market.
That's all they care about. Like they are going to go do their research, and they're going to find out from family, friends, and others, meaning Google, whether that's my listening whether or not they want to live at that property. So it's super important for people to get proactive and engaged with their audience.
Right.
So here's an idea I wanted to throw out. See what you think. Tell me your thoughts. Can everybody see it? This was posted somewhere about an idea to, I'm going to read it, about gaining reviews. What a great way to bump up reviews. Our residents got to enjoy a hot cup of cocoa, even though it was 65 degrees outside. Oops. Each resident that posted a positive review on Google apartment ratings was entered into a raffle for our mystery gift card. The property received some great reviews, and it only cost us around $75. Gift card included too. Side note, the weather told us, I'm not going to say the wake word, the weather told us it was supposed to be 45 that day, but living in Texas, you never know what you're actually going to get, which is a true statement. So tell us good, bad, and different. What's, what are your thoughts?
I think it's a great idea.
Okay.
I love that you come in and get a hot cup of cocoa. I think that's just a darling. I would say that people need to be really careful about incentivizing their residents to leave reviews.
Or something. Yeah. Like if you do this, you get this.
Yeah. You give us a good review and we'll give you a gift card, or you leave us a good review and we'll enter you into a drawing. And what they're doing right there, it's not going to catch Google's attention or anything like that. But unless somebody who is malicious, and we all know they're out there, I'll read the reviews and things like that. It says, hey, the only reason they got good reviews is they were offering gift cards.
Right.
That's the kind of thing. Again, those are, and it's not, I don't think that they're fake reviews. Google doesn't look at them as those are fake reviews, but they do look at it. You cannot incentivize your customers to leave you a positive review.
All you can do is post around your community saying, leave us a review, period. Not that you're going to get something.
Correct? Or use a third party to help you generate those reviews.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
It's
what just real quick, like what kind of strategy for, and I'm not making this a commercial, but like what is it that like you guys do different? I'm just curious, because you are newer and the game has changed over the past 10 years dramatically. So what is it? Is it the right engagement that you're trying to get out of the residents?
It's all about engagement and feedback. So a lot of companies, I talk to people every single day that says, oh, well, our social media company does our reputation, or our website company does our reputation, or we have this company that does our reputation that also does restaurants and you know, spas and things like that.
Right.
And the difference between us and a reputation manager, because we're really not a reputation management company. A reputation management company is going to, or a reputation management platform is what all they're going to do is aggregate. And when I say aggregate, I mean they're going to pull all your reviews from all these different sites and they're going to put them into a nice dashboard, which is great because you need to know, right?
Yeah.
And then some of them will actually even respond. So you get a negative review and they'll come up with an answer. They'll email it to you. You're going to look at it and either approve it, make edits, whatever you're going to do. You're going to send it back to them and they're going to post it.
Now, that takes a lot of time.
Well, I was just going to say, you know, that can take a week or two. I actually had a client that says that when they go through that process, it can take like 2 weeks for them to get that posted. Which is it needs, your response always needs to be in a timely manner.
Right.
And the second thing is if you've got that back and forth, you might as well write it yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know, that's a review. That's what reputation management is. They're just managing your reputation. They're kind of being reactive. They're not controlling anything.
They're not being proactive.
Correct. Which is what opinion does. So we want to leverage those good, the good reviews or the good feedback by getting those out to Google, Facebook, Yelp, all that. And then we want to also leverage the negative.
Right.
So many people are, you know,
scared of the negative. Yeah. That a negative review scares them away from reviews, period, because they don't know what to do with it.
When it shouldn't. They should be more trying to figure out the incentive, right? And figure out how they can change that or make it better because they're in customer service.
Right. So when we ask for feedback, we never ask for a review, and we'll talk about that psychology behind that review survey word. And whenever we get, you know, when we request that feedback and they come back with negative, we don't want to send that out to Google. We want to send that to the people privately, to the company privately, so they know where they need to focus their attention.
Yeah.
And there's a whole list of it that goes through and talks about, you know, we can do sentiment. You know, we do emails, text on triggers. If it's a maintenance request, you know, rate your experience. We don't want to say, hey, leave us a review or fill out the survey, because those two words immediately turn people off.
Right.
Yeah.
We're blowing all the time. And we don't have time to fill out a survey. I'm in the industry and I still delete those emails.
No, I don't have time to do surveys either. So.
Right. Yeah. So if by just asking for just to rate an experience 1 through 5,
and addressing that experience right away if it was negative.
Exactly.
You guys help the property navigate that.
Absolutely.
And find resolution. So that takes a client that takes this seriously, and that this whole thing is important to them.
Right. And I think that, you know, by automating it, you know, you're taking that burden off the staff. We have so many people that say, well, we ask the staff to do to ask for reviews, and they do. Hey, you had a great experience. Do you mind leaving me a review? I mean, people ask me that all the time, right? Whenever I'm in a business, and I say, absolutely. But walk out the door and it goes completely out of my brain, because everything else comes crashing in and it doesn't get done. Yeah. So by automating this, the process, take the burden off the team.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that the burden of social media and reputation and all of that as a whole should not even be on site anymore, because it's a job in its own. It's such a huge beast.
Yeah.
And I just don't think that the sites have the bandwidth to like really nail that and for it to be consistent across the portfolio.
Yeah.
But we still have a lot of modern elders out there that still don't fully understand this world and what it entails and how much work it takes to manage it.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it does take a lot to manage it, but there's technology out there like us that can help you, take that one more thing off of their plate.
Yeah.
And even the responding.
Well, you brought up a good point earlier about reviews and SEO. What our definition of in the past, right, of engagement was just hearting something or liking it. But true engagement now by all social media standards is response. Like if somebody writes anything in that comment section, you must respond for it to be engagement.
And it has to be
say that slowly because it's not about the hearts and likes anymore.
Right.
Like, you move up in relevance when you respond and engage with your audience and when they're responding, engaging with you.
And the response has to be appropriate. And I say this knowing that we only have a few minutes left, because I think it's one of the most important things that I can stress on responding to a review.
Yeah.
Online is not a place to solve the issue.
Right.
Online is to tell you, hey, we are sorry that you had a negative experience. It looks like we missed the mark, whatever it is that you want to say. And having somebody personally reach out to them. Somebody will be reaching out to you within, 24, 48 hours, whatever, to discuss this further. I actually literally read I guess it was last week, a review that somebody said, he was not happy, obviously. And he said, they actually make you pay for things that they should pay for. And I think it was the property manager that came back on and goes, look, you are the one that flooded your bathroom. And she went on and on. I mean, it was like a paragraph.
Oh, no. Wow.
It's like, that's not going to help you at all. If I'm a potential resident and I see that, it doesn't look good. It just makes us look defensive.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's hard for an on-site staff member. And I would get this. If somebody were to say something negative to me, I couldn't take my emotions out of it.
Right. Your properties become like your babies, I think, when you work on site too. Like
absolutely. You take it personally. And, and it's hard to take the emotion out of that. So I always recommend that they have somebody that's removed from the property to respond.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree. It needs to be someone that doesn't have the emotions involved, that can just be factual and keep it very professional.
And lastly, remember why people leave negative reviews. This, again, the psychology behind it, right? Psychology is that I'm angry, something didn't go right, whatever it was, but I don't want to confront the staff because I see them every day. And in some cases, they're my friends, right? Or friendly. We're really friendly, and I don't want to confront the staff.
Yeah.
And I just want to be heard. So the best, easiest way to do that is to go online, right?
Yeah.
So what we do as a company is that we take that, we intercept that, and then send it to the regional maintenance supervisor, marketing department, whoever it is that they decide is going to handle these things. And I was actually talking to a guy, one of our clients, has a risk manager. And he was like, I couldn't figure out why we were talking to a risk manager. And he was like, because I love this feedback system, because I spend most of my day dealing with small claims and Better Business Bureau complaints. And I was like, that's even a thing. I didn't even know.
Wow. I don't know it's a thing anymore either.
Apparently. And he goes, I love this because this allows us to get to the heart of the matter before it escalates.
Right.
Right. So, So
I love that. And that's a great point of view, because I mean, it's all about, like, heading things off before they grow into a big mess. I mean, it's brilliant. I love that. Like, that
Yeah.
makes so much sense that a risk management person would see the value in that, because it totally makes sense.
Yeah.
How many times in a review have you read, I'm going to contact my lawyer?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been told that.
People still say that?
Oh yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's hilarious. And I shouldn't say it's not really that funny. It's just, it's mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
And
sure.
so let's get to those people before it escalates to, I need to call a lawyer.
Yeah.
Even if the lawyer would say to him, you have no case,
Right.
your lease, but yeah,
still, I mean, and I think in a lot of these situations and like these, the negative that you get back can just point out a crucial problem, maybe with your staff or something with maintenance, or just something that's like easy to solve, but no one realized it was a problem.
That's exactly right. We actually had a client that was on our system for like 2 weeks, and the president of the company called. It wasn't my client, it was one of my coworkers, and said, I love this. He goes, I had an issue at this property I didn't even know I had, and it was such an easy fix. I just didn't even know I had the issue, the problem. And that's really what feedback is about. And it's leveraging the feedback, because if I can take an unhappy resident, talk to them, figure out the issue, fix the issue, even if I can't actually fix it.
But make them feel heard.
But make them feel heard. Now I've taken an unhappy resident, made them a happy resident, and now I'm talking about retention.
Yeah.
Because we all know as marketing people, it costs a lot more to get a new customer than it does to retain a current.
Yeah, for sure. So tell everyone how they can get a hold of you, connect with you if they want to learn more about Opinion and what you do.
So our website is www.opinion.com, and it's OPINIION. You see my email address right down there. You can connect with me on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter is Kathie in Seattle. There's all kinds of ways to get to me. Instagram. I can't even remember what my Instagram. Isn't that terrible? I think it's just Kathie Cook.
It's not just, but it is Kathie Cook.
Awesome. And then, so thank you everyone for jumping on. Thanks, Laura, for saying hello, and Debbie for your comment. And thank you, Kathie. If you want to be on live with us, you can email us at beyondindustrylive@gmail.com.
Hold on, I'm getting it up there.
There we go. Next week, we are both traveling. So we will return with a really awesome show on April 19th.
Yes. So until then, we appreciate you, Kathie, so much. We appreciate everyone joining us. Have a great week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Thanks.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.